jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
I've determined over a period of time that thinking about this strap season, looking at that fitted, that it's quite different than what I originally expected. Real talk. I just can't, for the life of me, figure out why that WBO has become extremely difficult. So maybe you was talking about this strap season.
Okay, back to me. I'm sorry. Go in your room and don't come out.
Now, what season was that again? What's good, everyone? Salute to you. Big shout out to everyone that's in the building. Samar Warren, the first in the building. Salute to you. Salute to everyone that's on deck. Bill's Boot Camp, Mr. Pass on deck, Juice League, Cooking with Sir Senior, WJ Luckett, Big Blunts and Boxing, one half of the Apostle Cam Edwards on deck. Big Blunts and Boxing. Who else is in here? Okay, so check this out. So this information has came out, and it's on Terrence Bud Crawford's IG. You know what I'm saying? Pound for pound best out there. And I love this, man. I love the Trident. I love the Aquaman setting, you know what I'm saying, with the WBO strap. You know what I'm saying? The welterweight world title strapped over his right shoulder while he's holding that trident, that sacred trident. You know what I'm saying? That sacred trident with the aerosexuals impaled above him. You know what I'm saying? If they ever wanted to be above Bud Crawford, this is what I've always envisioned. I envision the aerosexual, the big fish just up there kicking everywhere he moved. The blade, the tips on that trident just continue to cut and cut and cut. You know what I'm saying? And the water's right there beneath him, but he can't do shit about it. That's over. That's over. You know what I'm saying? We got you where we want you. That's what happened. Fish is food. So pretty much what happened with this particular case was that fish right there was taken to the butcher, and it was pretty much given, food to the community. But for me, before I did that, I had to deodorize the area that I was in because fish stank. Fish, that fish was stinking. You know what I'm saying? Always out of pocket. Hey, what you mean exactly? Whipping season, like eat them damn vegetables. What you meant by that? Shout to Samad. Explain what you meant by that. I'm not sure. Hope you will, WCS, and big up to everyone. I'm glad for you, WCS. I know you like us all waited a long time. I want to see you hopefully go and cover in person and stuff. Be dope. Well, check this out, Mr. Pass. As much as I've been covering fights, it is politics that goes into it. There's been a lot of individuals, several situations that happen on YTC that have hindered, certain media outlets, certain black media outlets when it comes to PBC. I'm just telling you what it is, from actually getting approved from credentials on a regular basis. It would be good to say, okay, I know I'm gonna be able to, but no, Top Rank is where it's at when it comes to boxing media. I'm not trying to, go over there and cover a fighter and have a headache at the same time trying to do what I came to do. You don't get that at Top Rank, like I said before. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Certain group individuals mess that up, and they start grouping us together. I'm talking facts, man. I don't need to stutter on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking facts. So is this fight really going down? July 29th, WCF. I'll tell you like this, there, Luckett. You wording that, that question like that, and it holds just as much weight as my optimism. You know what I'm saying? And we can meet in, you worded that in a way that you feel like there's hope for this. And then on the other end, I look at it like my optimism tell me I'm not sold on it yet. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting with confidence. I'm waiting with positivity. I'm not all in like Bunch though. Bunch is all in again. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not all in until I get the official announcement. I don't really care if Crawford has this on his IG. I'm just waiting for the announcement. But it's a good sign though. I like it. I like him, putting this fish up there, finally responding after, Errol was charging, $343, for a shirt. You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for this, to come out. So what better person to do it than Aquaman, a black Aquaman at that, shawty? Cooking with Sir Senior on deck. Salute to you, Sir Senior. Omaha session with the big fish on the Triton. Um, Team Crawford stand all the way up. Omaha cooking that good old Texas barbecue. Man, we ready. We ready, man. We ready. This is a long time coming, but it's only going to be memorable. Well, it's going to be memorable for both, but in a good sense, it's only going to be legacy. You know what I'm saying? Memorable for one person in that fight. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm telling you. That's a salute, OG Mr. One. Shirt only $50. So he has shirts with this on it. Okay. Y'all be sure to pick up them Bud Crawford shirts, man. Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, AK Showtime Shaw. Team Tuck in the building. I seen you in the gym, man. You and the team out there working. Big shout out, man. Hard working. Hardest working channel right here. You know what I'm saying? Shaw News and Sauce Experience on deck. Make sure you pick up your ball of sea moss, man. You know, the Outlaw Pugilist, what's good with it? Entertainment, salute to you. Gert, salute. He said, salute to my chat, to the chat. My guy, Stone Bone Boxing said they having fish fry in Omaha the end of July shark. So Stone Bone has confirmed the tone. Stone Bone has confirmed the tone. That little pulsating tone that we've been hearing. So pretty much this is getting a little bit more active every single day. And like I said, people want to take credit, but I will get credit. From where I first heard it, I did hear the announcement was happening a week ago, over there, ITC Boxing with the Apostles. That's where I heard it first. I don't know why everybody else, want to sit up here and stroke and sack stroke certain people as if they announced it just this week and it's supposed to be what it is. No, and this was said to be announced somewhat over a week ago. I'm talking about the breaking news. 2 times across Bud Waste and Errol sections written across the big fish. I love it. Hey man, gotta be creative, man. You know how I get down. You know what I'm saying? You know how I get down. I had to do little subtle messages here and there. Lopez on deck. I see you. I don't think it's happening. It's way too soon for Spence to get in shape. That's plenty of time. They have like 60 plus days, 65 plus days at this current moment to get in fight camp. All right. I mean, that's a lot of time now. 60 plus days. You're looking at a little over 2 months. A little over 2 months, bro. So if you look at July, 29th, of course, it's the last Saturday in July. So July is a long ass month. So that's definitely 4 weeks. And then you go up to June. That's a long month in itself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna get ample amount of time. Now, if you still up here eating chili cheese fries at nighttime, you know what I'm saying, and chasing it with apple juice, you know what I'm saying, and going in there eating a Klondike bar just to get your endorphins kicking in so you can go to sleep on a full stomach, then, hey, people, I don't know what to tell you. If this dude up here talking about what I do for a Klondike bar, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? No. Al Heyman has to announce the fight for me to believe it. I get it, man. I get it. The designer strap season tees. Okay. All right. Heyman. Well, we'll get to that later. But we're trying to talk about this Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence news. We want it to be legit. We want it to be too legit to quit. Too legit. That's what we want to do. We want this to be too legit. Too legit to quit. Hey. Yeah, you get the point. WCS, the thing I love most about the news yesterday is that it kind of took the attention away from the Doyle Haney versus Loma discussions. Man, I look, I didn't pay too much attention to the Haney versus Loma situation because it's become, it's almost like once again, you want this type of energy in the boxing community on YTC, but once again, it's negative energy, dog. They busy talking about who won and who didn't. I already told you who I thought asked it out. That's no knock on Haney. I'm just telling you who I thought. And then I heard Crawford get asked the question. They presented Crawford the question, and Crawford did not feel that Haney won the fight. I felt like, okay, I'm good. Call Crawford, Haney my guy, but I don't, he didn't think he won the fight. It is what it is. Dixon on deck. What's good? Said that EJ is a gorilla shark. So he said that EJ is a gorilla shark. But I look at the thumbnail. And the last time I checked, gorillas like climbing shit. Right? But there's something wrong with this shark being impaled. You know what I'm saying? Impaled at the top, it doesn't look happy. I mean, it just doesn't look happy. That's all I'm saying. Bud will prove why PBC has hesitant about making this fight. So, do any one of y'all know if it's true that they'll both get 8 figures? And if by chance they're both getting 8 figures, right? How are we in the chat going to convince those aerosexuals? No healing. How are we going to convince those aerosexuals that Bud, the negotiation results from which they keep talking about last year is done and over? But how are we going to convince them that potentially he's going to be getting 8 figures, just like they said he was getting in the Avanesian fight? And they was stripping that down, man. They was trying to strip him butt naked. They was trying to say, no, he ain't getting no 8 figures for no Avanesian. But news has broke that both fighters would get 8 figures. How did Bud Crawford pull this off? Please, someone drop the information. Who is Bud signed with? Did he sign with Top Rank? Because I know I'm not Top Rank. Did he sign with Golden Boy? Because I know some pictures was out there previously. Did he sign with Top Rank? Who did he sign with? And then, does anybody have the answers on how a fighter like Bud Crawford always does good business, man? Really good business to make that money. How could he pull this off after they said this man negotiates in good faith? Them aerosexuals always have positivity about Bud Crawford at this point. How can this man pull off 8 figures, dog? How can both fighters be getting 8 figures on pay-per-view? Can y'all do me a favor? What do you think the pay-per-view ticket point is going to be? Let's start there. What do you think the ticket point is going to be? What you think the ticket point is going to be? I want to know, people. What do you think it's going to? I know it ain't going to be in the 50s. It's not going to be in the 60s. It's not going to be in the 70s. Possibly it may be 85 plus, 90. What do you think would be a productive, not a safe number, but a productive number to see if the boxing community and the boxing universe is really supporting Crawford and Spence? Bud will prove the PBC been hesitant about making this fight. After Bud beat Spence, I'm not having no discussion about the fight with those who did not purchase the ticket or the pay-per-view. There's no way of really truly finding out who purchased and who didn't. If Davis Garcia did the numbers they did, and once again, it's frivolous for me to go in detail about whether they did 1.2, 1.4. It's frivolous, man. It doesn't pinch me like that. So therefore, it's just the fact that they did the numbers that high proves that Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, if promoted enough, the all access or whatever, if they do enough, man, behind the scenes, bro, I think this fight can do very well. W says if Bud beats, if if come on, man, you know how I get down with them doubtful words, man. What are you talking about? If him badly when you're going to be owed a lot of apologies by people. One thing I found out in the YTC, they don't apologize, man. I have no problem as a man apologizing for something I believe that I'm held accountable for. But you know, on the YTC, them apologizing, it's not going to happen, man. I don't want their apology. I don't, because there's a lot of people that claim that they are boxing fanatics, but yet they are Bud Crawford. They're Bud Crawford fanatics. They're infatuated with that guy for the wrong reasons. They're not infatuated with him to pretty much support him. They infatuated because you know, Errol Spence don't have nothing going on, and low key, they really know what's gonna happen if this fight is July 29th. They truly know what's popping. Y'all here in July, Vegas is having its first ever fish fry at the T-Mobile Arena. I like that. That's slick. Man, that's sir. I'll bring that hot grease, man. It ain't nothing like fishing hot grease, man. So y'all heard it first. You know, you heard it first from Juice. You know, Juice say, hey, in Vegas, they having a fish fry at the T-Mobile Arena. And you know, when you cook fish, you can smell that shit down the block, man. So hey, if I'm able to give back to the community, I told them to save me some too. They cutting it up as we speak. You know what I'm saying? I told them to save me something. But shout out to Juice Lee for the $5 super chat on deck, man. I appreciate you, big dog. Dixon, go to the video this morning, the 2-minute mark. Like what video, brother? What video? What video? I'm just curious. I mean, I got Big Fish winning the fight. Okay. Shout out to King Mitch on deck. They both get guarantees all of a sudden, and both has rematch. Okay, so we got Mr. Pass and Lopez at 80. I think 80 is a decent price, but in my opinion, I don't think it should be no less than 80. I mean, no less than 85. I think with this fight, as long as we've been talking about it, it should be 85 or above. Period. I would say if you want to, you know, set the example for a potential rematch at the end of the year, whatever the case may be, and you wanna elevate the bar, put that shit at 90. You know what I'm saying? Put it at 89.99. Something. Let's get down. We gotta give those Spence fans chocolate flavor Castro for them to digest that 8-figure for Bud. Man, with some sprinkles of salt on there, man. It has to be that salt. Yes, sir. See, you can deceive them. You know what I'm saying? You can deceive them because what you said is chocolate flavored. You know them aerosexuals love that chocolate covered and that white chocolate, more so that dark chocolate though. You know what I'm saying? You know, put the castor oil on there and put some salt. So when that motherfucking taste hit the taste buds, it don't taste bad, dog. Damn. Give me that cup of brown shit. What's that? Oh, that's freaking sweet tea right there. You want some more of that? You know what I'm saying? Giving that old car oil. You know what I'm saying? That old car oil is just sitting over there. Yeah, we posed you that. Salud. Salud, amigo. Cheers. Boxing Nerd 101. Look, Boxing Nerd 101 doesn't come in the building and say hello to WCS. He doesn't say what's up. And I thought me and Boxing Nerd was pretty cool. It's just common courtesy, hospitality, to drop on somebody's channel and just say what's up to the chat and everything. Like, where's the courtesy at? You just come over here talking about whether Bud loses is not a guaranteed win. Bro, what about hello? What about what's up? My people's over here in the chat, Boxing Nerd. You see how these WCS supporters, man, you didn't say what's up to them. What's the deal, dog? You can't say what's up to the chat. You know what I'm saying? But I look at it like this. You support who you support. I've said it several times over. Too many aerosexuals get mad and take shit personal. If you support them, support them. You know what I'm saying? But don't put too much emphasis on others who support Terrence Bud Crawford as if I need to change up. I need to pick a different side, or what I'm doing is considered unethical. No, I don't see this fight going the distance. And it's no way that I see Errol Spence going the distance with Bud without getting slapped. I don't have to see it. With my eyes closed or with them open. I don't see it, period. I don't see it playing out like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I don't think about the if. In my world, it ain't no if when it comes to this fight. It's not an if. It's not an if. It's going to be a reality. You know what I'm saying? It's not an if to me. I believe deep down inside, that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at. It's no hoopla. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no social glue and people co-signing for me. I don't need it. That's just the way I feel. That's just the way I feel. A lot of the aerosexuals are self-absorbed with saying the same thing over and over again, dog. I swear to God, it's like they playground is a recycle bin. They love waddling around in trash, man. The same trash topics. The same trash topics. Look, if this fight get announced, they're gonna still talk about the same trash topics. Something that they can't change, documentation that they cannot present, and they will act like every detail that they're talking about is facts. And all it is, if you take off the F, is acts. All they do is pretending. It's just the act. They know, oh, let me continue to talk about this. Let me continue to run this damn parade, this torchlit parade on Bud. That's all it's been about. That's all this shit been about. But I want this fight to happen, y'all, because it's going to change the landscape of the YTC. It's going to shut a lot of channels down. They don't put all this hope and emphasis. They call themselves pro Spence channels, but yet and still they talk about Bud. They just talk about Bud all the time. But I guarantee you, at the end of the day, when Terrence Crawford goes in here and stop this guy, they're gonna start talking about everything that they was hating on me about. Well, he was on and he said about the accident. Well, he said he was partying. I don't think he was ever 100%, but he wanted to give the fans what they wanted. That's what you call a people's champion. I mean, Errol Spence was a people's champion. He did all the lifting that was heavy. Okay, that's what he did, y'all. We should pretty much salute him. We should pay him homage. He's a future Hall of Famer. He finally stepped in there with Bud. And you know what, Bud? Man, he was doing some stuff in that fight I don't agree with. He was fighting dirt. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come up with all the punchlines, man. I want the fight to hurry up and happen so they can have debates about Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, July 29th fight. Have a debate on that.
I'll be there listening with a smile on my face. You go ahead, get all the people that was hating and continue to hate on Crawford for shit that's all the way in the past that you can't change. I'm just going to be sitting there. Please debate. Explain to me how the fight played out, why it played out, and why did you think it would play out any different than what WCS was telling you? All we need is results, man. That's all, man. We need for this fight to be announced. We need the fight camp to start because we know one person needs to start fight camp. That's all. That's all. It's only one person needs to start fight camp. He needs to make sure they had to make sure the perfect time to him to have ample days to drop that fat. So, the fight won't be extremely lopsided. That's all I'm saying. Don Vaughn on deck. Dang, did Boxing Nerd leave? Did you run away? Bro, did you run away? You just come in, dipped out? Man, that's unfortunate, man. Salute WCS in the chat. Bud gonna stop Errol. He gonna wake up the what? For real. And you know what? He gonna think he in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Until Terrence removed that glove from his eye. Glover, I'm still here. Damn. He thought he was in Dubai. The what? Salute WCS in the chat. Bud gonna stop Errol. He gonna wake up the what? Let's not bring that up because they say it was a TikTok video. It was only pretending. It was acting. It was scripted. So why don't y'all stay on code, man? Stay on code for real. I don't have time to go back and forth about these cats to be talking about, TikTok videos and all this other shit they try to make up. WCS always maintain I see Bud stopping Errol somewhere between 8 and 11, but haven't really picked a specific round. What do you reckon hypothetically? I told y'all before what I think about this. It's just a prediction. But only thing I can say is I don't see it going longer than what Sean Porter did. I'm serious. I don't see this fight going longer than what Sean Porter, and I really don't think it's going to make it out the 6th round. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Big up Don Vaughn. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. The OG in the building. So I heard, I read 2 people said $80 the price point. But yet I didn't hear too many people talk about the referee and the judges. What would be in your eyes a fair referee to carry order in this fight? And who would you like to see? The judges. Would you like to see Steve Weisfeld, Dave Moretti, and Atlanta Bird? Would those 3 suffice? And if by chance they were lined up, who would they benefit per se? You know what I'm saying? Who would they benefit? The fighter, as far as distance travel from Vegas? They'll basically do a Google Maps direction and screenshot the miles. That's who live furthest away from Vegas, who's fought in Vegas more. You know what I'm saying? How would the bias scales of perception level themselves out? Like who would get the favoritism Real talk. Who will the favoritism go towards in this fight? Because a lot of them, I think Bud has fought in Vegas more than Spence. Real talk. Who would be the favorite? Seriously, outside of who signed with who, we already know who the A side and all this other stuff. But when it come to Vegas, though, because Lomachenko, people thought he won the fight and they thought he was going to, finally become undisputed, but it didn't happen. W says they're going to say he would have won if he didn't have the eye injury and the accidents. Of course, man, that's a good one. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring the eye. Eyes have it. We got to bring the eye back into consideration. His eye was never the same. If you looked at fighters of the past time, like Eric Morales, Israel Vasquez, fighters who have had serious damage to their eye. I mean, if they cleared by medicals, they cannot use that. He's been cleared by medicals, right, to go in there and compete against Jordanis Ugas. And that's after the eye injury. We can't use that. But you know how the aerosexuals are. They always like, vomiting shit that they already just held around in their digestive tract forever in the day. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to the shit they talk, it reminds you of acid reflux, GERD. You know what I'm saying? Burping. They say the same shit all the time. If they ain't burping about freaking, some contract that he didn't sign, they freaking out here burping about something else. I swear to God, man. EJ shirt about 65. Bud shirt about 50. I thought EJ shirt was more than 65 though. I really don't care. I didn't get one, but okay. The undercard would be important. I don't want to see the bang average undercard. Put some killers on it. Okay. Good point. Since Paz brought it up, good point. The undercard cannot be like Davis Garcia. It can't. No. We need the undercard similar. Let me see. We need an undercard similar to. Hold on for a second. Let me check this out. Let me see. I would say if they have an undercard similar to Haney Lomachenko, I just throw that in there. You know what I'm saying? That was a pretty good undercard. Now you had Vargas on that mug. You had Abdullah Mason, Cashflow Diaz, Nico Ali, which was good Lord. They gave that man a draw. People getting some home. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even say that home cooked meal, but that Ali. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shout out to Nico, man. He was in a tough fight. Man, Nico's a good dude, but I don't think he won that fight. I don't think he won enough points for it to be a draw. Nah, that's a gift. You guaranteed to get a gift. Then you had Oscar Valdez on there against Adam Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Muratayo against Nakatilia. I mean, that was a pretty good undercard. You have to understand one thing. They already put the information out there, y'all, that these guys are going to be receiving 8 figures. You cannot have a loaded undercard because those guys are going to have to get paid too. So the co-main event, yeah, we can look at the co-main event. Who can we have fight in the co-main event that would pretty much bring them to the house early? You know how they like coming in with main event. They bring them to the seats early. Who can we put out there the co-main event that's not fighting? anytime soon. Let's say June. That's not fighting in June. Because in order for them to be considered a pretty decent name, they can't be fighting in June and then turn right back around and jump in there in July. Who can be a good, solid co-main event? I'm saying who? That's the big question. Because you can't load up the undercard when they're getting paid 8 figures. You got to pay them people. You have to pay them, bro. W says, here's the public announcement to all of the Spence fans. Please get all of y'all excuses out for why EJ loses the fight now. And the new two-time world undisputed welterweight world champion out of Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence Bud Crawford. And that's when people go missing. Welterweight champion of the world, Bud Crawford. Yes, sir. Talk that. That sounds good. You know what I'm saying? That sounds good. I just can't wait for it to happen because you're going to have people trying to sit up here. Man, they're going to blame everything. They're going to say what Samad just said. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get their excuses ready. They're going to blame the referees. They're going to blame the weather. They're going to blame, you know, everything about the lighting. You know what I'm saying? They're going to talk about, well, being that we had, you know, these fights that just was considered robberies. You know what I'm saying? It's been bad, you know, karma going on right now. You know, Errol Spence, he couldn't get a fair shake on this. He couldn't get a fair shake. Why is that? Why he couldn't get a fair shake? Because Bud took too long. See, if Bud wouldn't have fought David Avanesian, you know, Errol Spence would have been ready to fight in 2022. They still gonna be talking about that shit. If he would have fought him in 22, shit would have been different. Like when if Debo wouldn't have came down the street at that certain time, you know, who you know would have been on the porch? It might not have been nobody on the porch. They might not been sitting out there chilling. If Debo just would have came a little bit later, they probably wouldn't have been out there. You know what I'm saying? But since he came at the time he did, which they're gonna blame Crawford for fighting him in 23, if Crawford would have fought him in 2022, Spence would have been ready. He was in fight camp. You know what I'm saying? They seen him in Disney World hitting the mitts before he was goddamn about to order a strawberry funnel cake with extra sugar on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? With some blueberries on top. I'm telling you, man. They're going to come up with everything. Aerosexuals, pay attention. If you have health insurance, just do a pre-order. You know what I'm saying? Just do a pre-order of something like some Ritalin or something like that. Something to calm your ass down. I don't want any one of you all out here just losing focus and getting fired, terminated from your employment because you going in there and making threats to people. Come on, don't talk to me. I hate all y'all boxing fans that was going for Spence. And I want all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I want all the smoke. I'm going to air this out. Don't go to your place of employment trying to threaten your coworkers because you came off a weekend that you knew that was imminent. You knew this motherfucker was imminent. It was only a matter of time before the fight was signed and the gig was up. The gig was up, man. It's only a matter of time before y'all knew that, boy. Y'all know that shit. Stop playing. Stop playing like y'all didn't know. This has been long standing. This shit has been long standing, man. James on deck. What's good with it? Nobody want to touch those referee and judges, huh? I feel you. Don't nobody want to touch that shit. They don't care. They don't care, man. They don't even want to touch that. Why y'all don't want to touch that shit, man? Like y'all don't care about the referees. You know what I'm saying? Look, they're gonna be bringing up this right here too. You know, them aerosexuals gonna be bringing up this tweet. I had stopped going to the gym like I used to, which kept me out of a lot of BS. I went from taking a couple of days off after a fight to a week to 2 weeks, a month, then until I got fight day. It hurt me. It hurt me so much to talk about this and reread, what I put out there. I was fucking up. I was. And now that the fight sign, I'm about to get fucked up. I accept what lies ahead for me. I do. Yeah, you better accept it. For real. He said it, I didn't. He said it. You know what I'm saying? He said it, I didn't, man. Real talk. He said it, I didn't. But let's go down some memory lanes a little bit, because it's just happened to be some very important information that's been out here. You know what I'm saying? Will they repost this right here? Will Terrence Crawford retweet this? You know what I'm saying? Because he's number one right now. Do the aerosexuals believe that there would be a shift change on the pound for pound list? That somehow their dream may come to fruition, that Spence can sit in front of Bud Crawford on the pound for pound list? It hasn't happened yet. There's no screenshots that anyone can bring up to light that he's been in front of Bud Crawford on the pound for pound list. But do you think they'll put this up there? Do you think they will? You know what I'm saying? Seriously, do you believe that they will revisit this? Y'all remember this thumbnail I put up there? Truth be told, they can't tussle with youngin. Rumble, young man, rumble. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all remember that classic thumbnail I put up there? Do y'all remember, or y'all still convoluted? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are hypnotized, brainwashed by the fake news surrounding these two individuals. And if truth be told, if it is indeed true that July 29th is the date, then maybe the vibe will change in the YTC. I want to hear the debates on how this fight is going to play out. I don't care to talk about it. I stand on what I stand on. I say, okay, this is how I believe the fight's going to end. And it don't mean I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I believe in. I believe, Errol Spence, though he is the unified champion at welterweight, I just believe all around, physically, I'm talking about physically, mentally, I believe he's years ahead of Errol Spence when it comes to the discipline that ties both of those together, the physical aspect and the mental aspect. I think overall his discipline knots them both together. They give energy. They power up off one another. And that's a deadly, that's a dangerous combination right there. When you mentally, physically discipline all around, how can you see the fight going any other way? It's almost like, the aerosexuals remind me of when you see this person that's that drink all the time like a wino, and every time you see them, they asking you to get something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, can you give me $1 here and there, $1 there? And then before you give them the money, you always want to give them a speech about how it would be good if there was something they get off there and clean themselves up. And they sit there and oh yeah, you're right. I'm gonna get there. But you got $1 or $2. You got $1 or $2. But you understand what I'm saying? Man, you can get off that. You can kick it. Okay. I give you this money. I want you to kick the habit. Okay. Bro. The aerosexuals, that's what their mentality was. They knew the man was still out here fucking up, but they still wanted to stay close by. They wanted to go behind the scenes and shoot him these down texts. Hey, champ, man, we pulling for you. We just don't want to put it out there to YTC. You know what I'm saying? We pulling for you. Okay, They pulling for you, but deep down, when it comes into, like, they talk about this shit all the time about the top elite in the world, and the elite minded individuals that perform at the highest level and continue to achieve, like Bud Crawford, people recognize them as being that because they're not cutting corners. They're doing everything they need to do. So when you get individuals that totally understand it, they dare to do the troubleshooting, the brainstorming. They will sit there and think about something, ponder the thought, break it down. And it shouldn't be difficult for them to say, if they covered the sport for a while, to say that, look at it like, okay, Terrence Bud Crawford, the way he boxes and what he's been able to achieve, and then Errol Spence and what he's been through and what he put himself through and what he's been able to survive. You look at a partially damaged fighter to a fighter that's 150%. So truth be told, people are going to look at Bud Crawford as being that guy to go in there and beat Spence. But with the Aerosexuals, they just look at it like, it's our due diligence to show him love. We need to embrace him. We need to be there as his YTC caregiver. We need to make sure he's well taken care of. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to talk about his opposition in the worst way. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to take as much stress off him as possible from that MF and WCS over there. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to just, talk shit about Crawford all day. And then we're going to try to nurse the help. We're going to hope less resistance come his way. And we're going to nurse him back to health slowly but surely. So you remember when he did that podcast with his girl, the Aerosexuals looked at that as like they won. That was a win in their column, because now he's finally surfaced and they felt like not talking about the man. He can finally come up here and talk his truth. He did speak his truth, though. Everything that me and other people have been known, Nate Jones had mentioned, and they criticized the shit out of him. He came on and he spoke his truth. Most of the time I say, well, I can't be mad at the man. He came on and spoke his truth. But yeah, I can be mad because we have a fight that potentially may go down coming up, right? And it's a big possibility that Bud will not get his just due, his credit. That's all. He won't get his credit. That's all I'm saying. He will not get his credit, man. I have to hit the replay on that pass. Skip and Shannon talking about the fight. Oh my God. Listening to them two, man, I have to really be up on some forget 5 hour, 10 hour. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I have to eat a bowl of caffeine beans, some coffee beans, straight. You know what I'm saying? Chase it with some OJ. You know what I'm saying? I just boxing to hear them talking about. No, I don't. Nah, I'll pass on that, man. I'll pass on that. I don't want to hear Skip talking about, anything, whatever. It just seems like they always got to play the villain. One person is the villain and one is the the sound-minded one. All we have to do right now is continue to wait. But I really want this fight deep down inside. I really want this fight to go down because, it's going to put an end to one of the biggest topics that's on here. You having a total of 62,493 debates on Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence with no fight date. No fight date. Now we can just put this to rest. Seriously, we can put this to rest and finally potentially get the fight. We don't have to do all that. Now the debates can be spoken on based off what we've seen. We want to see them step in the ring. So now we want the debates to be what we're basically seeing in the ring, what played out. That's where I want to talk about now. I'm done with this other shit. I want to see Terrence Crawford with that fish on the top of his trident and take it from there. You know what I'm saying? Take it from there. We done talked about it. And this ain't gonna be the last live. This ain't gonna be the last live I do on it. I just like, keeping my people abreast of what's going on. I'm not totally committed to the announcement. I mean, to the fight until the announcement. I'm not totally committed to this fight until the announcement. Let's hope that the undercard is worthy. Let's just say give us good 4 solid cards. I mean 4 solid fights on the undercard. A solid co-main and 3 good fights under that. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be good to throw some welterweights on that. You know what I'm saying? Throw a welterweight on that. You know what I'm saying? What about putting Boots Ennis on the undercard? Put Boots Ennis on the undercard with somebody. I know he said he's ready to be the main event, but Boots Ennis, man, he'll bring people there. I believe. It's hard to put some type of common opponent on the undercard, to kind of boost up, because these guys, from what I'm hearing, Errol Spence will probably 150% go up to 154 after this next fight. So it's not like you have a welterweight sit there trying to call out the challenger all because they're the mandatories and all this other shit. And then Crawford, he once he win the titles, he's gonna do just like 140, vacate him, open up the entire division, and move up to 154. I really don't want to talk about prognosticating the fight potential between him and Jermell Charlo, but that would be incredible. If he wins the dang undisputed, vacate him, and then move up and fight Jermell Charlo right off the back. That'd be incredible, man. That'd be an accomplishment that'll go down in history books forever and a day. If that man can pull off, a third undisputed fight, that's granted if Tim Tszyu don't get off in his motherfucking, grill. It'll be great to see Crawford move up to 154 and get that fight, because now, what the aerosexuals always used to say is that, oh, well, Crawford move up and fight Jermell Charlo. It's no way that's going to happen because Jermell Charlo's with PBC. Well, guess what, people? If so-called he has a 2-fight deal and he already dispersed of one of Al Heyman's unified champion, and he got a 2-fight deal, it'll be great if somehow, some way, he can damn link up with Jermell Charlo and Al Heyman's still getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman's going to get paid from the Errol Spence fight, and they're going to get paid from the Jermell Charlo. But that's granting if Errol Spence does not enact his rematch clause in 30 days, or however that shit can go. If you enact, they say if you enact your rematch clause, you need to fight by the end of the year. So that kind of nullify what I just put out there. I'm just saying, if by chance Errol Spence do not enact his rematch, then Terrence can potentially fight sometime soon. But if Errol Spence, wants that rematch, it's going to happen. It has to happen before the end of 2023. And that sounds like something Crawford put up there. That sounds like some Bud put up in there. So, no, we ain't doing this again. We ain't doing this. We're not waiting around forever and a day. We need to then get these 2 fights out this year. I'm trying to get paid too. So I'm going to step on Spence first. And then we're going to see if he pull that rematch clause. He might not. If he gets knocked out, I almost guarantee you he ain't sending no rematch clause to damn Bud. He get knocked out, he ain't doing it, bro. He's not doing it. It's not logical for him to do that if he was knocked out. I mean, you got Dillian White out there to get knocked out all the time. I mean, It's fighters out here to get knocked out. They get a title shot. They come back. You know what I'm saying? They come back and make it happen. Or you get fighters to get knocked out like Miguel Burchell, and then he take a tough fight to Nakatilia on his way back, and Nakatilia stops him. You know, it all depends how that works, man. It all depends. Like, it depends on what you felt. You get knocked out. Did you want to go back in there again and get that smoke? I don't know. I don't know, people. But I like it. But I'm about to go over here to Coach's channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to jump on for a little bit. Salute to everyone who pulled up. Definitely I'm gonna have some different topics tomorrow if I don't jump back on later on the night. But I just don't want to talk about the same Devin Haney Lomachenko situation, even though it is populating pretty good in the metaverse. It's just I don't want to talk about, you know, what should have happened and what didn't happen. I mean, when you talk about what should have happened, but it didn't happen, it's just saying the same thing over again, just like this fight news. You know what I'm saying? Once they release it, it should be an announcement, but it didn't happen. Well, you know, they should be giving us official announcement soon, but it didn't happen. What should have happened in the fight happened. You know, Devin got the belts. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it was a robbery. Nope. I know he defended his titles twice already. That's the way the record books are gonna look at it, and the record books are also going to register a third defeat to Lomachenko. It don't matter how Egas sees it and how they petition. It doesn't freaking matter at all. But y'all hold it down. Until next time, I'm out.